The upper room, yeah.
Welcome to the Upper Room. I'm your host, King Cleve, along with my co-host, the legend that is Larry and Zeke. 5 foot free. Hey man, we glad to be back, man. We missed y'all. We hope you missed us too. We took a little bit of time out. We had the Super Bowl going on. We wanted to make sure that
the Chiefs won.
Chiefs won.
Congratulations are in order.
One of your 10 teams won, so you had real good odds.
The odds were in his favor.
Sound like y'all upset about that.
Not at all, man.
It would have been a very disappointment if you didn't have not one of the teams win.
This is Mr. Rodell Jones calling, one of my football players, so I gotta ignore that call. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay.
But so with that being said, the Chiefs won.
Yes, they did. The Chiefs, Super Bowl champs.
And I guess congratulations are due. I mean, we ain't gonna congratulate Zeke. I mean, his odds was too good. Man.
Yeah.
You want to go to Vegas with those kind of odds.
First off, my Chiefs won. Our last show,
we've established
I had the jersey on top of the podium, the table, and whatnot. Kim Wanners, 3-time Pro Bowler.
Nothing against Kim.
Okay. No, nothing against him at all. Right. But anyway, man, let's get into the blitz. Let's jump into the blitz. Man.
Well, there's a female coach that got a lot of publicity because she coached for one of the teams that won the Super Bowl. She coaches for the San Francisco 49ers. Now, there have always been female coaches to coach male sports on lower levels, but I think that this is the first, from what I understand, that there's been a female coaching at the NFL level. There's another lady that's being hired for the Redskins, I believe, is a black lady. And so, it's now that they're at the highest level, it's something to discuss, and really talk about, that situation, because that's a rare situation. So, in my opinion, I feel like female coaches can coach just as good or better than a male coach. Hear me out. They're naturally more detailed, and they're good strategists. I give them that. This is my issue, though. When you have a female coach that's coaching males, from the top all the way to the bottom, there are some intangibles that come with coaching that a female can't perform. There's some things that guys look up to male coaches as a lot of times father figures when you talk about high school and junior high. These are things that a woman can't do naturally. And so, I thought about, could I play for a female coach? Obviously, if I didn't have the choice, I would have to. But would I buy in? And of course, I thought about, I compared it to Coach Drones. Coach Drones was a good man first, honorable man, good husband, good father. Then he was a good coach. So there were some things about Coach Drones that attracted us to make us play so hard for him that has to do with him being a man. And that's where, when you got women, a lot of female groups that feel like, well, we could do the same thing as a man. Well, there are some things that you really can't. You can't do. I played offensive line at 155 pounds, and if I didn't look up to or buy into or look at Coach Drones in a certain light, I wouldn't have done it. But it's because of the type of person that he was. Yeah, man, I'll do anything for Coach Drones. He asked me to play kicker, and I would do it. And that's just the type of person. But my point is that, this kind of opens the door for, okay, if this is being done on a consistent basis, could you play for a gay coach? And you cannot say, well, that's not going to happen. That's probably
both.
Huh?
She both.
Right. See, on the female side, that happens a lot. I would say there's a good percentage of your female coaches that coach, they pretty much are gay on the female side, coaching girls sports. But what if that flips and come over to the other side? Could you let your sons, or could you coach for a man? Because like I say, it opens the door for not only gender, but sexual orientation. I mean, it's just a real conversation. So that's my question to you guys. You know, could you vote for a gay presidential nominee, which is happening right now in the Democratic? You know, could you see two men kissing, you know, in the Oval Office? And again, you know, these are real things that you have to talk about, you know, when you open the door for, hey, yeah, you're going to have some gender crossing genders, you got females coaching and male sports and this and that. Could you do it? And so you put yourself in those shoes, could you play for that person, you know? So, you know, I'm asking you to, could you do it?
I think I could, because I don't see the difference in a male coach coaching female sports. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, we can look at that and you can say, I couldn't do it, I can't do it, if they was gay or if they was straight or whatever the case may be. The thing that I got out what you said is, if you're a good coach. I know females can't relate to a guy as in like, you got to be a father figure, I'm like a big brother or mentor and stuff like that. But I still think you can get some good things out of it, whether you're a female coach or a male coach.
I think that everything, like you said, is there except for the I just think, me personally, I think that men make better leaders because of taking the emotions out of it. And that's the only reason, because, you know, women normally tend to be smarter, they think quicker and everything, but when it comes down to leadership, I just think that with women, you know, it's blue one day, red the next. You understand what I'm saying? Whereas with me, it's gonna be red all the time.
And not all. You can't paint that broad brush with all women. But I know you generalizing. Yeah, they're more emotional creatures, more emotional than men. I coached a female this year. She played football, and it was very uncomfortable because I had to be conscious of the things that I say. I'm used to using metaphors and analogies and comparing this and that and being able to tell the kid, hey man, you playing like a little girl. Well, I can't do that now because we have a girl. And she was actually better than half of the guys on the team. So, you know, I guess that's just the times we're living in. But yeah, that's all I got.
Well, mine is on Mr. Pete. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but his name is Pete Buttigieg. And he's the former mayor in Indianapolis, and we just touched on this. And
are you talking about the presidential nominee?
Right, the LGBTQ.
Yeah, he's with the alphabet people.
Yeah, he's with the alphabet people. And my question is, can I take my vote back? And there's only a couple of states that you can take your vote back in, which is Connecticut, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi,
you want to
New York, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin.
Okay.
But my question is, let's say you have a presidential nominee or whatever the case may be, and you come to find out that he's gay.
Right.
Can you take your vote back?
After you
already have voted. So I'm not saying that he's not a good presidential nominee. I'm not saying that he's a bad guy or whatever the case may be, but I know how you feel about your LGBTQP, whatever the community is.
I have a problem with them people, man.
But you, I mean,
I have a problem with them.
Well, why would you want to take
your vote back?
Yeah, I don't.
Because a lot of times, like you said, we want people that's going to be a good leader, motivator, maybe somebody we can look up to, who we know.
So the alphabet people are not good motivators?
I'm not saying
that. Well, listen.
I'm not saying it, but
with what we have in office right now, I can take anything.
Anything.
So we can't go no lower than that. I don't see. That's just one thing. To me, it's kind of like, I don't think your sexual orientation really plays a role in you being able to be the president, or whether it's the president of the country, president of Fortune 500 company. I don't think that, because, and let me say this, How many presidents have we had? How many?
50?
However many.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think maybe one of those guys?
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
You see what I'm
no
saying?
doubt, not one.
So that's what I'm saying. So
Decent percentage.
yeah, so we don't know what's been going on. The difference is now it's just being pushed to the forefront.
Yeah.
It's okay now.
Yeah. To
You
come
know?
on out and be public.
Yeah, it's okay now.
Yeah.
So
that's a tough one. But I have to go back to what the king said. In the climate that we're in right now, I'll take anything. Now, we're in a normal situation where I have some good candidates. Yeah, my preference is, I want my leader to represent, strong man, strong woman.
I don't think that it even then it wouldn't bother me.
I guess not.
Because I think I've worked for people who I've known that they were, and it wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just like with anything else. It only becomes a problem when you force your views on other people. That's me. That's what I have a problem with. When it's forced upon me.
Right.
I agree.
All right, man. Jamil Jones, former Wake Forest coach, was found guilty of assault Thursday. He was driving his car. He had pulled up to a stop sign or somewhere. Guy comes out of nowhere, banging on his window. Some reports say that he even shattered the window. I don't know. There's just, banging on the window. He gets out. Him and the guy exchange word. He hits the guy one time. Guy falls out. He gets in his car, drive out. Well, evidently he hit his head on something, concrete, pillar, whatever, pole, whatever. Coma for 2 days, then he died. So now he's being charged. And I'm sure they could have went after him for manslaughter or something else, but they got charged with something. He still may spend up to a year in prison. Now, this was in New York. So,
because he won the fight. What is he guilty of?
Well, they convicted him of murder, right?
No, assault. It was only assault.
But they were fighting.
It really wasn't. He hit him, knocked him out. My point is...
Okay, it wasn't an even exchange.
But no, he came beating on his window.
Okay.
So, and that's my thing. So at what point aren't you allowed to protect yourself in your property?
I thought your car, talking about the window to his car?
Yeah.
I thought your car is like your house.
Yeah.
And you can
that's the
protect
law.
yourself.
Yeah.
Well, evidently maybe it don't apply in New York. Maybe all of that only applies in Florida. I don't know. Or maybe it only applies in New York.
They have the stand your ground law.
Well, maybe it only,
that's very inconsistent.
maybe it only applies to,
Oh.
Yeah, but anyway. So,
Right.
and you see where I'm going? Here we got an idiot who was told, don't follow somebody, leave them alone until the police gets there.
And still kills him.
Yeah, but to stand your ground.
Right.
Well, this guy was in his car, somebody comes in. Listen, if someone runs up to my car,
Bang.
he ain't finna get a punch. And he banging on my window because you don't know what his intent is. You don't know what the intent is. Yeah, the dude was drunk, and then I think they said later on his family came out and said, oh, he was drunk. He was outside his sister's house, drunk, waiting on an Uber. Okay, so why are you letting him go out there in that state? If you know what's going on, why are you letting him go out there in that state?
So why they wasn't held accountable?
It was almost like when you leave a bar drunk, you go and you get drunk, you go kill a bunch of people.
They can charge them.
Yeah. So I mean, what's the difference? But anyway.
Not that race has anything to do
Not
with
that it has.
But race has everything to do with it. So what color was the guy that died?
The guy knocked out, he was white. Or white, or he was
And the
Polish or something.
African American.
Yeah. I think he was white. He wasn't
I think
black.
he's Mexican.
Maybe.
The coach is black.
Yeah, I know that, but I don't. His name was. Yeah, he looked like he's from overseas somewhere. So saw something like that. So, but anyway, I mean, they could have hit him harder.
Yeah.
They didn't, but it is what it is. Well, anyway, we're gonna go to break. When we come back, we got a really good show for you, man. You don't want to miss this one. This one really hits home for me. And, you know, I apologize in advance because I'm sure I'm gonna say some stuff that's gonna, you know. But anyway, we'll be back. All right, we back live in the upper room. Like I told you before, man, we got a real. All right, we back. We got a real good, great topic today. I ain't gonna just say good. A good great topic today that we want to discuss, and we really would like feedback. Throughout the show, I'll be posting the link that you can click on to come on if you want to come on to the show. But like I say, we really want your feedback this show. This particular show, we put the tag on it. It takes a nation of millions to hold us back. And so when you hear that topic, what comes to mind? First thing comes to mind.
People trying to put us down.
Okay, what about you?
Racism.
Really? So, I mean, y'all better than me, because the first thing I thought of was Public Enemy when I heard it.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that you think of, but I think both of y'all hit the nail on the head. I guess kind of on different sides of the nail, but and I mean that's what it's about. It just seems that almost in any walk of life, anything that you're trying to do is always someone there to offer resistance,
right,
to hold you back,
right, try to bring you down.
Man, and I really want to wait and say this, but I can't.
Go ahead, bro.
I got to jump right into the whole
I know
the whole Gayle King thing.
Oh,
I just got to jump into it. I got to jump into it, and I am disappointed.
but do it surprise you though?
Oh, it surprises me.
It don't surprise me.
I expected
Because
more.
my thing, her scapegoat is she talking about the network. They misled her on bringing it up. But you ask these questions yourself.
Right, but when you say is it surprising? Yeah, I am surprised that you asked that type of question.
I'm
After
not.
the death of, you might as well say, an athletic hero, a black hero. Like really, like you really would
Ratings
do.
is everything, man.
Wow, man! But you already know our struggle, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, because
Well, I'm disappointed. I can say I'm surprised, and I can say I'm not. I can say that I'm surprised because, I mean, it's still fresh. It's still a shock to everyone.
yeah,
You know, my daughter asks me every day, am I still sad that Kobe Bryant died? Because it's still fresh. It's still, I mean, they haven't even had a memorial service for the.
I think they scheduled it for the
24th.
What? Yeah.
I've seen where I think it's one or two other families have had something for the members.
Yeah.
So it's still fresh, and here you go, jumping on something that happened in 2003, or it's part of his legacy. The victim, that's what really got me, was the victim.
And
She was an accuser.
right. And I'm glad you brought that up because, you know, her family, you know, God bless her family because of what she had to go through and stuff like that. But my thing is, even though she brought that up, this man wasn't convicted. He wasn't even convicted. And you bring this up.
We can't, we want to focus on the racism. We want to focus on the injustices, the inequality. Before we get there, this is just another example of the infighting, the division within our own race.
Well, the best way to destroy something is from within, not coming from the outside, because your shield is up to the outside. Best way to destroy it is
within.
I keep telling people, read Willie Lynch's The Making of a Slave. What he said then is still relevant to this day. But I was just baffled when she did that, and she, for one, like I said, didn't say accuser, she said victim. Victim means that she was the victim of a crime, which he was not convicted of a crime.
Right, and she didn't want to testify either.
Yeah, because it was about money.
Right.
Let me tell you something. And I'm not a female, but I can't fathom any female getting raped and going home and having sex with her husband and boyfriend afterwards. Then showing up to go report.
And it wasn't just anybody either.
No.
That's Kobe freaking Bryant.
No. And
But
most women probably go brag to their husband if they did that.
Look, he texts me.
Exactly.
That's who I'm talking to.
And so, not only did she do that, she tried to drag Lisa Leslie on board.
Yeah.
Like she wanted her to side with what she was saying.
And I'm glad Lisa Leslie held her ground, man.
Yeah.
Because to put that woman under that spotlight, and then for her to say, like, the person you talking about, I don't know that person.
Right.
He's always been respectful of women. And she said she have a lot of NBA friends that ask her, hey, can you hook me up with such and such? And Kobe never done that.
Man, it was... It just threw me for a loop to sit there and to watch it. I didn't actually see it. I think somebody posted it somewhere and I seen the clip. And that was the whole thing. Well, you didn't look at the whole show. That's all I needed to see.
That's what she said.
Yeah,
that's what she said.
That's all I needed to see.
Right.
Did she apologize?
No, she did now.
She did. And let me
But she's trying to blame the broadcasting station, though.
Let me tell you something. In my eyes, that makes it worse. And let me tell you why. I'm a firm believer. Just like the idiot we got in office right now. One thing I can give him, when he says something, he means it, and he doesn't back off of it. I'm a firm believer that if I say something, that's what it is. Whether you like me or not, that's what you get. If you're going to say something, listen, sometimes things are said out of anger, a slip, which you do what? You immediately apologize for it. She didn't apologize until she started getting backlash.
Right.
She meant it.
That was premeditated and planned.
She meant it.
She.
So if you meant it, hey, get on there and say, hey, I'm a journalist, I'm this or that, this is my craft, this is what I do.
Right. But she did admit to being a journalist,
Well,
but she's trying to blame it on the station. Like,
yeah, but admit to that.
they swayed her to ask that.
And just be like, hey, you millions of people who ever pissed off kiss my ass, and that's it.
Right.
And that's what you do. But that wasn't a thing. She didn't have any remorse until
she got the backlash.
So even if you're doing this for ratings, obviously that was her plan. Okay.
You got that.
But nothing inside of you says that this is, because to me, it's not worth the rating, whatever kind of ratings you get, because this is negative publicity, number one. Yeah, the ratings have gone up, but I still don't understand the reason behind it or you doing it. Is it worth, even though, let's say you do get good ratings, is it worth it? I mean, I
don't think it was planned out, or she probably felt that she was going to get the backlash she got now. But like in any other show that we always talking about, we talking about it. So she's getting the ratings. Yeah, she's gonna get the hits, and then I don't think she was on CBS. I don't think they're gonna to drop her or whatever the case may be.
No, like I said, the ratings,
Yeah,
everybody's
the
talking
ratings
about
up. Everybody talking about it.
Bad or the good or bad publicity is good publicity.
Right.
So
I'm, you know, and then so, of course, Oprah's gonna defend her. That's
her homegirl.
whatever.
But have she came out? Have she said anything yet?
Oh yeah, she came out.
supported Gail.
Yeah, talking about she ain't in a good place. She getting death threats and whatever else. Okay, so now moving on, you had a number of entertainers speak out against her. LeBron James, 50 Cent, Ice Cube. So then you get to Snoop. Snoop went further than what anybody did.
But
Now,
you expect that.
now, while that was going on, everyone was attacking her. Well, you know, hey, that's wrong. She shouldn't have did this. Blah blah blah. And you know, Snoop, he got on that.
He did Snoop. He did Snoop things.
He did Snoop, and we're gonna get there.
He did Snoop things.
He called her a dog-headed bitch.
Well, he said what he said was, I wanna call you what I should call you, but I'm not gonna even go there.
But he
Which
did
he
call
wanted-
her something.
he wanted to call
So he
her
wanted to
bitch.
call something worse.
He wanted
Yeah.
to call her a bitch.
No, he called her that.
Oh, he
Oh,
did?
yeah, but he had some other colorful words. He called her a dog. I mean,
Yeah, dog-headed bitch.
Yeah, I've never heard of that before, but I mean,
Yeah.
I think he was really caught in his anger.
So,
You know,
fast forward. Now, and I hate to bring this up again, with all that she said, someone passing away, wife grieving, 3 remaining daughters grieving, parents grieving. Snoop says that, and all of a sudden, everything is shifted to Snoop. The feminist came out because he called her a bitch.
not a bitch.
Well, just you know, I can't keep rolling. Yeah,
Heaven forbid.
yeah. Now,
Because that word, I mean, you know.
now, my issue with that is, to me, it's like the N word. If it's wrong, at this point, it's wrong all the time.
Right.
So when I hear people get upset about, well, such and such use the N-word, but then when we greet each other, what's up, my? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So you can't sit, and I know that it takes on a different meaning. I know it has a different meaning, but it's still the same word. So just like with the B word, I see females all the time talk to each other like that. You see what I'm saying?
Same concept. Same, everything's the same.
But it's okay.
But it's okay because it's a term of endearment. But when a man does it, it's an issue, but wrong is wrong. Wrong is wrong all the time. Now, probably the same women who used to say that bitches and hoes ain't nothing but whole tricks was my jam. Or whatever, what was the name? That was the name of it?
Bitches ain't shit, but.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay, I got it wrong. Been about 25 years, so I got it wrong. But that's my thing. It's just like,
It's hypocritical.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So it's just like when Chris Rock said that time in that special, when he said the dirtiest, nastiest song that you could think of could come on, and chicks all on the ground dancing. He's like,
Running to the dance.
yeah. He say the first thing, oh, he ain't talking about me. He said your name, you know, he cracking jokes. He say he just said your name. No, nah, that's somebody else. You know, so my thing again is, right is right, wrong is wrong. We can sit here and say what Snoop did was wrong, and yeah. He did. Yeah, I mean,
he went too far.
He went too far, but it was out of anger.
But my thing is, why you shifting the focus?
Exactly. It's like you finding the smallest thing.
But you shifting the focus. You ain't worrying about what she just said and what she tried to do and what she tried to bring Lisa Leslie into. But when Snoop said the B or whatever the case may be, now we mad at Snoop. But that ain't the whole issue. The issue is you got somebody that lost his life.
Right.
You have somebody that was on trial for sexual rape or whatever the case may be and wasn't convicted, was found not guilty, and you still bringing that up? Yeah. I mean,
you had 17 years to bring that up. Yeah, 17 years.
Ratings.
You had 17 years to talk to Kobe about that, but you wait till now. But anyway.
So knowing why didn't the principal get this kind of publicity? I understand it's Snoop Dogg.
Mm-hmm.
But for her to sit there and say, all I see is karma, or a rapist died.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Susan Rice. She worked with Obama. She was a part of his fold.
Mm-hmm. His campaign, wasn't it?
No, she worked in some capacity for him. She tweeted out what she warned Snoop.
She warned him?
Warned Snoop not to threaten Gayle King again, to back off or stand down. I'm not sure which words were used before. And you don't want this before an army comes for you.
Okay, but where did he ain't threaten her. Where did he threaten her?
I don't know.
And for what she had to say, to me, that's a threat.
Yeah. This is exactly what she said. This is despicable. Gayle King is one of the most principled, fair, and tough journalists alive. Snoop, back the F off. You come for Gayle King, you come against an army. You will lose, and it won't be pretty.
So is that a threat?
Yeah, they've taken this to a whole nother level now, and it's getting away from the original point of look at what she did.
And my thing is, Snoop is not gonna back off. You know, he ain't worrying about what she have to say, because now he gonna have something for her too. But my thing is, like I say, you trying to shift the narrative, and it ain't about what Snoop said. I really don't give a damn what he said. The thing is, you have a person that died, a well-known figure.
That's right.
And you ain't bring up all the good he did. You bringing up about something that he went to trial for that he wasn't even convicted of.
Well, which gets me to another point about not only is there a division amongst the human race, which is the color. Now, even within that fold, we have a division. Is it the gender division? Would you call it that?
Gender division?
Amongst our own race.
Right.
So in other words, we're part of that's part of that nation of millions that's holding us back. And I guess, you know, I know we getting ready to go to break here soon, and we won't really have time to talk about this like we need to until we get back, man. But it's a lot of changes from within that we have to make.
These are self-inflicted wounds.
Self-inflicted.
These are self-inflicted.
It's self-inflicted, and it's just
the battle is already hard enough because we're going up against a system that's totally against us. But now we got
it's almost like you got two horses tied up to one rope, one pulling one way, one pulling the other.
We got color issues within our race. We have levels of separation financially, you know, and now gender. And that's a real problem. Because if we have a gender issue, that means we're not getting together. that's a. I mean, that's something that really the feminist groups, they really need to. They're causing more harm than good. They really are. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
And you know, I guess, man, yeah. Let's take a little time, man. Take a break, because like I said, this is really getting to me. Let's take a break. We're gonna step away. We'll be right back. Advice or a solution that anyone comes up with, there's always going to be somebody else to say, nah, we don't need to do that.
Right.
Now, what does she mean in the solution? The solution to the Gale problem, or the solution with the gender issue that we have within our race?
Well, it could be either one. But my thing is, like we talked on many of our shows, in my opinion, and I know y'all may disagree, I don't think it'll ever be fixed, and I don't think it'll ever be solved, because we're going to still always have issues with somebody tearing somebody else down. We're going to still have issues with somebody not supportive of what somebody trying to do positive. We're going to still have issues with the rich being rich, trying to help the other rich get richer and not help the poor.
We have to, as a community, as a people, begin to overcome those issues if we ever want to get to a point where we having some equality in this country. Because first of all, in my opinion, the way you feel about the issues we have in the black community, I have that same discouragement when it comes to racism. Racism ain't going nowhere.
It's not.
It ain't going nowhere. And I think the sooner that we accept that fact and stop waiting on 40 acres and a mule, and I always say that, it just focus more on us and supporting us and doing for us, and stop worrying about, because the system is set up intently, purposely to keep us down.
Right.
So we definitely can't give up the fight, or we definitely can't take the attitude of, well, shit, it's going to be the same way with blah, blah, blah. Like, but man, what are we doing?
Okay, but she chimed back in. She answered your question. She said she's asking what the solution to the inner fighting of the black community. Right. What would be the solution?
The solution, in my opinion, is that somebody's going to take a step forward, going to take that first step. Now, if we want to declare ourselves man of house, leaders, and this and that, it can't. Both people are not going to take that step. It's always who's the leader. Who's the leader? But hold on, if we got to take the step, then they follow. To me, that's the way it's designed. The problem is, okay, if we taking that step, are they following? But are we taking the step? So it's like they're waiting on us to take the step, then they must be waiting on us to prove it over time. Then it's like, okay, bam, they make the change, then, okay, well, I'm going to follow. But I'm going to be hesitant because I've been through so many things. And I guess I'm talking about probably a lot of women that's been hurt, and why there are these feminist groups, while this stuff has been formed. So I think about this all the time, because I'm like, yeah, well, what is the solution here? Because we keep going tit for tat. At some point, somebody got to take it on the chin.
But Legend and King, you don't think somebody being stepping up, trying to lead and see if people gonna follow and see if we can make change? I think this is already happening, but in my opinion, it's not gonna be. It ain't gonna ever be fixed.
I'm talking about individually inside of like individual relationships. I'm not talking about like an overall leader, black leader, to do it for us. I'm talking about individually within our own relationships. We have to have more of us. And like I say, to me, these are seeds being planted, because it may not come into fruition within our generation. Mm-hmm. It may be our kids that may see the result. Maybe there's a generation of women that's just so damaged to whereas we're looking at like, damn, man, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm working, blah, 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 and you still, and it's like, why, we're wondering, why can't you why can't you support? Why can't you appreciate what I'm doing? And they still in the mindset of, but I've been hurt. And it may not happen overnight. And we're like, well, shoot, I ain't like that dude. Yeah, but that particular dude has caused so much damage where it's affecting all of us.
Right.
And so it's going to, this is my opinion, it's going to take a collective effort over the masses of black men to plant the seed, but we may not see the result of that seed in our generation. Bro, we in our late 40s and it's just ain't happening.
That's my whole point.
But I guess I don't want to have the doom and gloom like what's over with and it ain't like, no, we just have to plant seeds and our kids and grandkids see the result of that, bro.
Can I say something? And I don't necessarily, some of the stuff you said, I agree with, but not all of it necessarily. Because I just think that it's, at this point in the game, it's been going on for so long that it's just pretty much programmed in our DNA.
That's what I'm saying.
It's passed down, and let me say, and again, I hate to keep going back to this book, but when this dude wrote this book, when he came over to America, he said, this is how you run slavery. They took the biggest, meanest, whatever, and they killed him.
Yeah.
So then they took the male and they forced him into a position where they beat him, they made him scared, they beat him, made him scared, and let the woman defend him. Now they wouldn't beat her like that because that's what they wanted. They wanted her moving to the forefront and him standing behind her.
Right.
For him to have to depend on her.
Right.
So now that's where we are now. But because and so now when you as a man try to take your rightful place, I don't know if I'm wording it correctly, in a relationship, it's hard for men and women to let that go. That, you know, I've been doing this, and you know that's why you don't get, I don't need a man, and this and that. But listen, I would never ever say, and I think I said this before, that in any relationship, yes, you have head of house and this and that, but it's not a dictatorship.
No.
And I think that as men, we messed that up.
Exactly.
It's not a dictatorship. It's a partnership. It's 100-100. You work together. And headship, like I said before, is when you can't come to common ground. Someone has to make that final decision. But if you're wrong, you also got to be able to accept, I told you so.
Yep.
You know, because you're going to get that. You're going to get, I told you so. You can't get mad because you were wrong. And that's just what it is, man. But the inner fighting, and I'm glad she brought that up, man, is slaughtering us. It's killing us.
I think since slavery, we did improve. I think the 60s, the 1960s was a pivotal moment in black history. And mixed with the Vietnam War, you got people coming back, our people on drugs, projects, you know, gangs being formed. You know, I'm just kind of rushing through this, but there's a lot that happened in the 60s and the 70s, and to whereas, you know, you had Hollywood glorifying the ghettos, a lot of guys going selling drugs. Pimping became very popular. You got movies about that, the Mac and Superfly, and of course, you know, we glorify that negativity. Well then, you know, at the same time while this is happening, while we're glorifying, and those are becoming, because we lose Martin and we lose Malcolm. So now who's our leaders? Who's our people looking up to? Superfly and them. And so in the 70s, you kind of got that angle where men are coming, but black women are steady on the rise. Education, jobs, holding it down. We're getting locked up. We're on drugs. You know, marriages are breaking up. Now the government steps in now And then you got your feminist movement where you don't need him because you're
can do
more
it on your
educated.
own. Yeah.
You can get that job. You're making more. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Child support, and we can talk about that all day long. But I believe between those 2 decades, right now we're seeing the result of that in Generation X. To whereas there's been so much hurt and so much suffering on their side. To whereas now we're getting our act together, but damn, we may not see that for another generation on what we're looking for. As far as that level of respect and appreciation, that unconditional. I feel like most black relationships, we damn near down to 1 strike. You mess that up, it's
I'm
a
gone.
wrap.
Yeah.
Well, versus back in the day when you talk about our ancestors and maybe our older relatives and fathers, because we always compare our women today to our mamas. We know our mamas put up with a lot. They ain't putting up with nothing these days, because of what they seen, what their mama went through.
And then you have.
But we want them to be like our mamas, and we're like, well, you ain't tough enough. No, they had a point. We ain't taking it.
But the women, they looking at the men as, I want that reflection of who my father is. Like our niece. She look up to the king like he God.
Right.
And that's the way we need to raise our kids. But like you said, in the relationships, nowadays we don't have too many positive or strong relationships. We looked at Obama and his wife as like, that's how we need to be, because he glorified his wife,
Exactly.
he praised her, and all that type of it. We don't have that now.
I wanted my when I was married, I wanted my wives to be like my mom, and I compared it, and I know that's wrong.
Yeah.
But I know it's wrong, and I didn't have to learn. I know it's wrong, but I wanted that sense of I want that level of respect that my daddy got. And my daddy got off work, man. He in his recliner, man. He chilling, man. Food is cooked.
Well,
House is clean. But again, I'm not saying that was right or wrong. Times have changed,
Right.
I was think I was just the opposite, because like I said, I was in a single parent home. Strong. My mom was strong, and I know she watching because I seen her when she logged on. But I always said I would never marry nobody like my mama. So.
Mama, he said that. We ain't said that.
And I'm just being honest, and that's all I can do is be honest. But what I wanted to say on what you were saying is, and another thing we have to look at is how we're divided and how we're put in a situation with the inner fighting, because what we're doing is, what they're doing is, and they're still doing the same thing. They're pitting us against one another.
Yeah.
Think about this. Who is the most imprisoned person, not just in America, but in the entire world? Black man. Black man. So what they do, they take us away from our homes. They force the women to fend for themselves. Mm-hmm. And then once we're thrown back out into society,
Right.
we can't vote.
Nope.
They limit us on our jobs, on what we can get.
Right.
They strip us. They're still stripping us of everything that we have. But then you say, well, don't commit the crime. But yeah, no one's perfect. But then so you see our counterparts, and they go and do some of the same stuff.
Right.
And they get slapped. Yeah, they get slapped on the wrist, maybe probation. But what we're not gonna do, we're not gonna mess this young man's life up. He got his whole life ahead.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
We're gonna give him a chance.
We're gonna give him a chance. We're gonna give him chances. Like you said, you can go all the way back, like with the crack epidemic. People, this was a sickness. This was a disease that these people had when they were fiending for this stuff. But who don't put their ass in jail?
So we have 1 strike with the man. We only get 1 strike in our relationships. So the margin of error is very small. There's a lot of pressure on us.
Okay, look, I'm posting a link. If you want to come on and speak your piece with us, you can. I know not everyone agrees with what we're saying, so the link is posted. All you have to do is click on it. If you don't have the app, once you click on it, it'll take you to download it. It doesn't cost anything. You can click on and come into what they call the staging area, and we'll be able to bring you on.
And another thing too, if you want to come on to the show, we don't have to show your face. They'll be able to hear your voice, so we can block that out too, where they can't see your face. So if you want to come on to the show, if you want to talk to us, we want y'all to come on to the show.
But yeah, it's just so. Again, that's that whole nation of million holding us back. I mean, of course, you have to be accountable for what you do. But why am I not given the same chances as Peter or Brad or whoever it may be?
You talking about society-wise, or you talking about black relationships? No, we talking about two.
Yeah, I'm talking about society.
Society.
And so, but even then, you know, you and I had a conversation a little earlier before we came on air about the division within our race, and how you said that we are the only people who call our women out of names within songs and
right,
and this, and that, and then not count, but what I brought up was, and we're the only race that you hear say that their men ain't shit.
Right. Right.
It was just, and so now it's just such a division, man. It's a rift. You get on social media, and it's just so much fight. Mm-hmm. It's just it's crazy. We fight amongst each other over every little thing. And it's ridiculous.
And to me, it just kind of goes back to the way you described during slavery, when they did those things to the men, mm-hmm. and to make sure you do it in front of the women, even sodomized the men. Yeah. Did sexual acts to them in front of their children. So naturally, as a child and as a wife, no matter how much they have the understanding, they know that
lose respect for them.
The respect is gonna go. And now, not that you fall in love with the man, but you looking at him as powerful unconsciously. Like, he's the one that's running this thing. And so, again, those to me are seeds that passes down. When you look at, the white man a certain way, powerful, regardless on how he did it. And you look at the black man as not a provider and not a protector. And although we have so many things going against us, and again, I believe there is understanding with the black women. They do have that understanding, but when you dealing with emotions of, okay, but come on, I need you to right now. There's a term that black women use right now, leveling up. I used to hear that all the time. Level up, level up. I think Sierra made a song about it.
You know what that is. I don't think I want to know either.
Yeah, level it up. Level up in all areas of your life. The way you are being a man, being a father, being a protector, the money that you're making, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I'm trying my best not to go there, but that is a big factor when it comes to money. But I'm out of time.
the thing about it, not everybody can be. Not everybody gonna have money like Jay-Z and Michael Jordan, and so if that's all that particular woman is looking for,
ain't the right one.
Good riddance for one, but and good luck trying to find, because these dudes with money like that are, especially within our community, are far in between. You ain't gonna, like I said, you ain't gonna find many Jay-Z's and Michael Jordans and Dr. Dre's, and then when you go down and think about some of the stuff that you don't want to, you're so willing to leave, like you say, that one strike. What you think you finna deal with when you go over there? It's definitely gonna be my way or the highway or
right. And then you don't have nothing to bring to the table. So why would I invest in putting my time in you and I got everything? I'm not just going to give you that. So the chances are it ain't gonna be a relationship. It may be something that I'm gonna get out beneficial from it. Well, whether it's sex or whatever the case may be. But after that, why do I need you?
I think part of the solution that can help us is that each person, each party, each gender take responsibility for themselves and stop blaming the other side. Because once you take that mindset and don't even think about and worry about what he did and what she did and what she said and what he said, what did I do to affect this current situation? And I think if you take that mindset, that'll help you focus on you, because you cannot control him and you cannot control her.
So you can only fix yourself.
That's it. And I think, but that's easier said than done, because you want to blame. You don't want to look in that mirror because you ugly as hell when you look in that mirror. But you don't want that. It's easier to blame him. You blaming that person because you stressed. You mean you have that control? That person has that type of control over you?
Well, yeah, and then you get to sometimes, I think you do have some people who can look in the mirror and look at themselves, but then what happens is, what's the real hard part of it is, it's hard just to look at that mirror and not still look over in that other one.
Right.
And so I'm trying to do what I'm supposed to do. I'm working on but you still the same. So why should I? So then you right back to square one.
But that's why I feel like that you shouldn't be. You really got to put yourself on a level to where you can't worry about where they're at. You can't worry about where he's at. Fix you, do you, and let the chips fall where they may. Now, that don't mean you stay forever either and wait and spend most of your life waiting on that person to get it together.
But I think sometimes, because you're trying to fix and help one another. But the thing is, if I'm trying to fix me and not necessarily fix you, but try to help you through your circumstances, we got to be on the same accord. I can't be trying to make things right, but you steady holding something over my head,
right,
for us to correct and better one another.
That's just going to keep us down.
Yeah.
So
keep us in the same place.
Again, what puts us in the almost in the same situation. You still always. What was the song? Was that Betty Wright that made that song when she said, back in the day when people used to have problems, people fix up
and have a party.
Yeah, trying to get them together. You ain't getting that now. You know what you get now, girl? Put his ass on blast.
Is that the song about don't blame Mr. Charles?
Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
But he's doing the best that he can.
But now you get put on blast.
But see, my thing with that is, and I'm not saying everybody doing it, but and I think you said it before, King, misery love company. So if you single and I'm in a relationship and now you telling me about problems that you having with your man, why not we just be the girl? Leave him alone. I want to be in the same situation as you. So now we can talk about it.
Well,
not trying to help you fix it,
right?
But they're gonna talk down on you.
Listen. Right. You can't. Here I am, a construction worker, and you a doctor. Why would you take medical advice from me?
A lot of times people, they go to that person because they know they're going to tell them something they want to hear. A lot of times people have friends, they're not your real friends, but you got people in your corner that if I say this, they're going to say that to reinforce what I'm doing.
And then my thing is too, a lot of time when people come to you for advice, they already have an answer. Like you said, you just want clarity.
I just want somebody to cheerlead for me. I really don't want you to tell me the truth.
Go ahead, man. We're going to get ready to go to break. And we'll be back. If that's, and I don't want to call you Dave out, but I'll send you the link. If you want to come on, you could join the conversation with us.
Well, we'd love to have you.
We'd love to have you.
Love to have you.
So we're going to take a break for a couple minutes. Give you, time to, go shake your hair up, get it ready. and you can join us. We'll talk a little bit more off once we go out, but you're more than welcome to come on. And she says it's kind of one-sided because there's no women.
Oh, well, we need you on the show then.
That's a whole nother thing, but we'll talk about that.
You welcome that, huh?
With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and go to break.
And the Chiefs won the championship.
Upper room takes the nation to millions to hold us back. We have been trying to get a few callers in. I've even sent out the link to a few people if they want to be guests. I posted it. I'll post it again. Because again, these are our views, right?
These are our views.
These are our views. We don't represent anyone else, any organization, anything. These are our personal views. And with that being said, you are more than welcome to come on and to debate us, prove us wrong, or whatever it may be. And so again, I'm going to post the link. We even heard that, that Legend was a little chauvinistic. This is a great topic.
You don't want a little, you want it all.
It was one-sided. So we'll love to have a woman's
opinion.
Yeah.
Well, we have a guest that called in.
We got a guest, huh?
Yeah. And
we got a guest. We're gonna bring him in. Hello? Can you hear it? Can you hear us? Hello, Mr. Webb.
Hey, you probably got us on. Take us off the speaker. You probably got us on speakerphone. All right, there you go.
Yeah, that's a little bit better. Yeah. There you go. So
you
got it, Nut?
Again, great show. Loving you, Kev, for what y'all doing. Nothing but love.
Appreciate the love, bro.
Y'all speaking on some real good, interesting topics today. Like I said, Nation of Million and hold us back. Me and Larry were just talking offline. I don't think we'll be the main ones that hold us back.
There you go.
We need to stop that, man. We really need to stop.
Speak on it.
I don't know if it be for self-gain or self-hatred or what is the point? You're not gaining nothing in the end talking down on each other.
I don't really
each other down, ruin each other's businesses because you don't like this person, you don't like that person, how this person or that person make moves in life. Ain't cool, man.
A lot of times it's not even self-gain. We just don't want to see nobody ahead of where we at.
God gave us all the same 24 hours in a day. What this man and woman do with their 24 hours is their business. You know what I'm saying?
I just think as a people, we haven't had much for a while. And so that competition comes in to where it's, well, I don't want to be the last one without something, so we pull that other one down. And again, it's the crabs in a bucket syndrome. We're not used to having anything, but boy, as soon as we find out our next door neighbor, he's doing something good, it's a natural jealousy because we don't want to be left behind.
But my thing is, why we don't have that each one teach one attitude? Like, we can say about different genders, but the thing is, you should have something set up that I'm gonna try to help my brother. And then the thing is, I ain't got to give you the format or the game plan, but I think that we should help one another to try to be successful. Like if I know if you're into podcasting, I'm gonna tell you what I did was successful for me.
Right.
Now it may not work for you, but I'm still giving you the blueprint of this is how I got started.
Right. One of the things that I started doing individually to plant a seed, every black man that I see, whether I know him or not, I acknowledge him, I give him a nod. Everyone. I don't care if they mean mugging, because just think about our past even when we was younger. think about all the fights y'all have had. And I'm talking to Edmund, think about all the fights you've had. Have you ever had one person outside, have you ever had a white person ever try to challenge you? Think.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Just like called you out. How many times? Compared to what's the percentage? And my point is that
maybe 2%.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like we quick to turn on each other, we quick to battle each other, but we won't do that. And that was my same thing when I talked about the gangs. You know, again, it's not that I lose a little respect about what's going on with the gangs, because I'm like, when the last time have you heard of anybody taking a shot at the KKK? And you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, man,
like,
you know, we quick to pop off with these guns. We got people that's actually trying to kill us, but you ain't at they rally. I need you to be arm in arm. I need the Crips and the Bloods and everybody to be like, I'm not condoning it, but where is that protection for us? But you quick to spray a whole block party of black people simply because somebody didn't stole $50 from you.
Or wearing a different color.
Check this out, Mark. It's funny you brought that up. I had a conversation with a young cat the other day. I was somewhere where I shouldn't have been, but I was trying to talk to my little cousin, talk some sense into him. They got a house full of straps. I mean, 100 guns. What they gonna do to this brother? I ain't gonna use any word. What they gonna do to this brother? He running hell. What this brother gonna do this and that? I got this gun for this and that. AK, SKS. Oh, all kind of guns. And I'm like, well, you niggas is tripping. You brothers is tripping.
Yeah.
Sitting here with all this here. Like, y'all, I said, the white folks run up here, y'all niggas pull layers.
Nothing.
Keep the dough in, ain't gonna shoot damn cops.
I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. 3 days later, the laws ran up and down. Ain't nobody pick up a gun. There's 4 brothers in the house. Nobody pick up a gun.
Right.
But y'all quick to call yourself real. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Real ends. Come on, man.
Yep.
That don't make no sense.
Again, they've taught us to turn on each other, and we're living that out today on many levels. And again, before we can take this fight to the highest levels, we got to get this right. We losing, y'all.
But see, my thing is too, same thing like what Nut was talking about, one of our callers that's calling in on the show. You got youngins out there portraying this image like they bad and all of that, but sometimes we gotta fault ourselves because who talking to them? I mean, you take Nut for instance, he done been through it.
Right.
And now he's going to try to talk to his cousin and they still not listening. So
right.
Even though we go and talk to him, and even though we got some that should be talking to him that's not talking to him, are they going to listen?
Right.
And I think that's like when you went to the young man's funeral.
Yeah.
And like when you went in there, you was like, dang, was it a setup? Because you still in here and there's people outside across the street. You don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
Because nobody's listening. And that's why, in my opinion, I don't think it's going to ever change. And if it do, we're not going to be around to see it.
No, we're not. I'm 100% sure we're not going to see that. We're not going to see what we're looking for, what we're working for in our generation, in our lifetime.
And then like what you said, like every time you see a brother, you try to acknowledge him and all of that. But it got to the point. I mean, we talked about it like 2 shows ago. I'm kind of like my brother King. Like I don't have time to make no more friends.
I'm not making friends.
Right. So my thing is, if I come off to being like a threat or being mean, I can accept that. Because my first and priority is my wife. I got to protect her.
Right.
And it's bad to say that, but like you say, you want to, we probably never had, well, I know we never had that, for someone to just to speak and say, hey, how you doing? What's up, brother? You good?
You don't even have to go that far. I don't even have to strike a conversation. To me, a nod to another brother, that's letting me know I acknowledge you. We good. It says a lot.
I ain't trying to hurt you.
Because we in passing. I'm trying to get in the store and get what I need to get and pay for this gas and get on out. I ain't finna sit up here and have a conversation with a brother. But to me, if we just do a simple nod to acknowledge, say, brother, we good. We good. I'm cool with you. But that's just me. You know, that's a small seed that I'm planting myself. Again, I can't say everybody is gonna follow suit. But to me, small things like that needs to be done, and over time, we may see the change maybe in 30, 40 years.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I see the king. The king rubbing his head. What's your intake on it?
All right, I'm just kind of soaking in. First, I wanted to kind of what you spoke on with the each one teach one. I mean, but with that, where do you draw the line? Because you are to want to help out your fellow man, but let's just say that by trial and error, you get a business up running, took you 13 years. So here I come, and this is where the problem come in. We don't want to know the steps. We want to get right to where you are.
Right.
Is that fair? You see what I'm saying?
We don't want to go through the process.
Yeah, you don't want to go through the process. I just want to be right there with you.
And I understand that, but my thing is, okay, what you just hit on. But is it wrong for me not to even try to help you?
Oh yeah, you can help, but I don't think that you should just, it's just like, basically what you might as well do is just cut your business in half and give me half of it. Or bring me in and make me a full partner, because that's what you're doing. I'm finna be, if I'm going to the same thing that you're doing, I'm about to be your competition. And you're gonna put me right there with you? I mean, so I'm not saying don't give them some help along the way.
But man, my thing is though, and I agree with everything you're saying, man, because we all grew up together and we went through the same thing. Your mother's my mama was your mama, whatever the case may be. But when we grew up, it was never something that you tried to gain that your mom or my mom wouldn't help you with. And that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, I'm going to still help you. I ain't worried about you way up here and I'm way down there. And I know a lot of people look at that right now. But the thing is, if we don't try to lend that helping hand, how can we help our brothers and sisters succeed or get to where they need to be at? You see what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, we at least gotta try.
Right. And I agree with everything what the king is saying. Like, if I'm already up here, yeah, you want to be up there, but how can you give a person a chance of being up there if you don't give them the chance or show them like where to start at?
Well, you give them a chance. You help them. You give them the game, so to speak, but you just can't. I mean, it's
you say you can't give them everything.
Yeah, you can't give them everything.
What's that saying about giving a man fish, but you teach him how to fish? I forget how.
You teach a man how to fish, he can feed.
Right.
Feed. I mean, he can eat for the rest of his life. But I mean, so you can't just give some. Listen, the way you appreciate things when they're earned.
Mm-hmm.
You think about the difference from when you were a child and you were spending your parents' money as opposed to now
spending your own money.
You spending your own money.
So are we questioning our work ethic now?
Well,
I do because I see it a lot. People are and not all people, not everybody, but when you get people who want a quick fix, I don't want to start on fries. I want to go directly and be the CEO, or I don't want to do it at all. You see what I'm saying?
Well, that job is too beneath me. I ain't finna work at no McDonald's.
But you don't have nothing coming in.
You have no credentials. You have nothing. So I'm
no
just
experience, no anything.
I tell people all the time, man. I see people at the hotel when I valet park cars. They be like, "Coach, man, what you doing?" So I'm making money, and they look at me in a certain way, like, "But you
because you the head coach."
Don't matter, man. When you got mouths to feed, that pride gotta go. We have unnecessary pride as a people, and we haven't. You got to crawl before you walk.
And
saying my thing is like you talk about pride. For one, you have unnecessary pride when in actuality you don't have anything.
Right.
So you questioning me about being a valet parker.
Right.
But
and what you doing?
You don't make more money than me.
What you doing?
Or you questioning me as being an assistant coach, but you don't know how I live on the outside.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I can't speak for all of us, but us three, I know we travel. We can go majority where we want to go, but you questioning because I'm a valet driver. You don't know half of what my bank account is.
Yeah. But it don't even matter though.
Because they see you as a valet.
Right. The point is that how we judge and how we always want to have a certain title. We don't want to go through the process of starting from the bottom and working our way up. We don't want to go through that. That's why we dress the way we dress.
Right.
We always got to look a certain way, and that just speaks to what's going on inside internally. We so worried about what people think of us, and that again, all that goes back to slavery. To our own issues, our own insecurities as a people. So that's why we have to go get them $250 pair of Jordans, because we making maybe $5 an hour. Why? Because I want to look like something, even though I don't feel like nothing on the inside. I don't have no confidence in myself. I'm not secure within my man. I'm not, but I want the public to at least see it that way. So I'm not about to just go work fries at McDonald's, because my boys gonna look at me like, man, but again, you're not taking care of your family.
Well, listen, I don't have no Jordans.
I'm just saying. But we wrap around the block to go buy them $200
I got some.
shoes. Yeah.
And it's because
you paid your dues.
Well, and I like the shoe.
And you paid your dues.
So, but I mean.
But your light's not out, and while you wearing them $200 pair of shoes, though, your priorities are straight. But the lights go out, but you're walking around with them $200 pair of shoes, though.
So we've come to a conclusion that we're divided. I mean,
ain't no other way to slice it, folks.
It's just what it is. We're divided. So we're adding on to the millions that's holding us back. So, go ahead.
How can 13? We only make up 13% of the country, black people as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we so divided? And we really the smallest nationality of people.
Well,
you understand what I'm saying?
Man, I've been preaching it. Man, read that book. Read that book, dude. And
what's the name of that book?
The Making of a Slave.
The Making of a Slave?
Yeah, by Willie Lynch. Read the book, man. And that book was written back in like the 16, and it's still relevant. It's still going on.
But it's crazy.
I got the book you want to read. You can take it back.
But it's crazy, like you said on one of our shows, that you can put all that knowledge in the book, but we ain't gonna read it.
Well, that's what they say. If you ever want to hide something from put it in the book, because they ain't gonna read it anyway.
What you were saying? I was saying something.
Go ahead. No. That's what they said. They say if you ever want to hide something, and of course they use the N-word from.
The N-word, put it in a book.
And it's crazy because I'm one of the biggest hypocrites. I don't like reading books.
Yeah.
But all that knowledge out there, my wife, she came to one of our powerlifting meets, and she wasn't even paying attention to the meet. You know what she was doing? She was up there reading the book.
Mm-hmm.
I read all the time. I got a Kindle, man. I read.
It's just like me. I guess my attention. I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. But I'm a big.
Well, you got to start with something that you're interested in. That's just like with anything else. If you don't really have an interest in it, it's not going to hold you. Mm-hmm. It's not going to hold. It's just like with a movie. If I turn on TV and there's something I'm not interested in, I'm finna start finding something else to do. And that's just with anything. Dude, that is anything in life. If you don't have an interest in it, it's gonna go by the wayside. Whether it's your job, whether it's a relationship. Dude, let me throw a little something out there, and I know I'm gonna get a little backlash for this one. You're gonna mainly the brothers are gonna get them. But listen,
you've been getting backlash from the beginning.
Nah, that's you. That's you. Listen. At this age, we should know this, but listen, ladies. If that man is not investing, and when I say investing, not necessarily financially, but that's part of it, in his time, or whatever it may be, he's not interested. That's just what it is. He might be stringing you along for whatever reason, trying to hold on, see if something else better come along, whatever it may be. I don't know. Now, don't jump on me. I'm just a I don't even want to say the messenger because we was taught to shoot the messenger too. You can't talk outside. But just say I just threw that out there for free.
And it's crazy that you say that because that can be another show or whatever the case may be. But I always ask like people that come to me advice about relationships, and my thing is, how much do you know the person? Like you say, how much is he involved in you, the time, and how much or how often are y'all seen together? Because like with my wife, she don't give a damn if I go to the cigar lounge, she want to go. And I don't have a problem with that. We go watch a game, she go. And I don't have a problem with that. Because we are one, we together. So when you got people that's, and I know we're going into the relationship stuff, but when you got people that's, like you say, divided or distant, why can't I go around when you're around the legend and the king? What you trying to keep from them? Well, and even though we know like our wives are a part of our show, and the legend he's getting there and stuff like that. But the thing is but why not?
You just put me out.
Yeah, because you don't see what God on our show. But I'm just saying.
Well, let me say this. And there could be some circumstances where because you don't want to go to a game. Would you want to go to a game and you 2 minutes of the game, she told me, look, when we leaving? I'm ready to go. I don't even know how you can sit here through this. Blah this. That, and of course, so you can be you can be put in some situations where you're not gonna want that. So I don't really mean to throw that out there to turn,
I've been there before.
But the thing is though, once you get involved with somebody, they have to know the details about you.
Exactly.
Okay,
man, that's a whole other show.
My husband or my boyfriend, he likes sports. Eventually, I gotta start watching sports. Like I come home, this every day. I come home, the first thing y'all sister say, babe, is it a game on? Whether she gonna be in tune to the game, I don't know. That could be the front. Mm-hmm. But she's willing to sit there and watch the game with me. Right. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
because she knows you like the game.
Yeah, she know I'm into sports.
Right. Now what if she didn't know? But what if she didn't participate? It wouldn't make a big difference.
Because
right?
So is that the divide?
It could be. Because now we're not compatible, because now I know that you're a coach, so I know you're involved in sports. So eventually I'm going to have to come to the games and support you. I'm going to have to sit out there in the cold weather because I'm there. I don't even know what the hell going on, but I'm out there for my
I think
husband.
you got to have a balance with that, Freak, because I think there needs to be more respect for the individuality of the person. We're all different. Yeah, there's going to be some compromises in relationships, but to me, when a person just kind of sells their soul just to kind of cater to their mates because,
but
I know what they like. I think it needs to be a balance, because if you lose your individuality, then that's when it's like, oh man, who am I?
But it ain't. I ain't saying you gotta sell your soul, but it gotta be some type of okay.
Yeah, it gotta be. I think it's gotta be a balance.
Or like say if your sister never came to any one of my.
But that's
games.
Extreme. That's extreme.
Right. That's what I'm saying. There gotta be some support.
Right. But what I'm saying is, I don't think, and I'm not saying you're doing it. I'm just saying it shouldn't be an expectation or a demand. Look here, I like sports, man. I need you. And we do have that type of. Some people have that mindset in our community.
Well,
and I just think that there needs to be.
Just say black people. You ain't gotta say community. I know what you want to say.
Well,
right.
Right. So does that place a divide within that particular relationship? Because now, what you have to look at is I don't care how much you love someone, how much you want to be with this person. It is not healthy to spend every waking moment with someone.
I agree.
You need, because you need time. And let me tell you something. God forbid that you done found somebody just like you and y'all like everything alike.
How you gonna grow?
My man, I couldn't even.
But the whole point of that's why men Okay, alphabet
You know,
people.
and
That's why he put men and women. So there's some things that you learn from your wife. I can't learn from somebody that's just like me. Me and Wes like sports. We like a lot of shows.
Don't use me.
I can't.
You use somebody.
All right, I'm just saying. This is why I have a problem with the alphabet people. You're not growing spiritually, man, because y'all just alike.
You got a beard and I got a beard.
Yeah, man. I'm tired of you. You know it's gonna get there, King.
but serious. You need your own time. You need your own space. Listen, you can be in the same house. You should be downstairs. I'll be up, me and my dog, we be up here. I play my video game. She'll come on up until she start getting on my nerves, like if I'm losing or something. Yeah. And then, with the jokes, and then it's time for you to go. But, I mean.
But I agree with you, because y'all sister, like, I like going to the cigar lounge. It'd be times I'd be like, "Babe, I'm going to the cigar lounge. You want to come?" She was like, "Nah, go ahead and be with your boys." Because she's trying to give you.
And does that offend you?
No,
it don't.
It don't.
You're giving her space.
Oh well, she's giving me my space.
But either you're giving her space because you're not acting a fool about it. You're not making an issue like, "Damn, man, on Friday nights we go to cigar lounge while you're tripping." You don't go there. She's comfortable to be able to turn that down or do her thing, and that to me that's good. It's healthy. It's a balance there.
And it's crazy that you say that. Like Friday when we ran into each other, and he was like, "Hey man," and we don't get this enough, but he was like, "Hey Brown, I'm proud of you, man. You back in school." He said, "But I know sis got a lot to do with that, and you need that."
You man, dude, you need. That's why God places certain people in your life. It's for your growth. I mean, you don't want to be stagnant. You don't want nobody who's going to have you to be stagnant. I mean, I could think of what I would be doing right now or where I would be or whatever.
Don't say that on that.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. And so, people come into your life for growth. But, so...
But we don't want to grow though.
You don't.
We don't want to.
You're not every, and that's what I'm saying.
And so you got to change.
You do, and so that's where your divide comes in. That's what because you got one person here wanting to grow, and you got somebody else in mind. We good where we at.
And okay, let's just be real. We are guilty for that. Why? Hey, I am who I am. I don't feel like changing, man. I get to a certain point in my life. It is what it is. No, you are steady evolving, and that's where. I think that cry coming from women of leveling up, it's not so much, it's leveling up as far as growing on every level, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, everything, steady evolving and growing, but we don't want to change.
But why? But what is the why?
The why is because we're comfortable.
Well, and then not only that,
growth comes, it's uncomfortable to grow, man. It's uncomfortable to do things that you're not used to doing.
Okay, but like how you said earlier in our community, which I know you're talking about African Americans, if you don't have somebody that's a positive role model in your life, where you gonna get it from? That's just like Uncle Steve. I love him to death. He the first one through our family that went to school, graduated with masters and all that type of stuff. So I look up to him because I know he's doing a great thing and he's a good person to look up to. Right. But if you don't have that, what you gonna look up to? And that's like a lot of the kids we see in the street. He the only one, bro. No, Uncle Steve went straight to college. Steve Martin. Yeah. He is, but Pokey ain't graduate.
Oh, okay. He ain't graduated from college.
No.
But what you got to realize is with that division, and like you say, when you looked at it from, are we talking about in general or a singular relationship? I mean, it starts there because, I mean, of course, that's more intimate. That's more hands-on. That's something that you can touch. So if you're divided at home, anywhere else you go, you definitely gonna be. It's definitely gonna be a division unless you just want to put up a strong front. You know, you know it, because it's just like to say if I was a Trump supporter, and then my wife was, you know,
a legend supporter,
whatever.
Democrat.
Yeah. So and then so you know we come when we go out into public. Neither one of us will want to change our views. We still gonna be divided on that.
And then if you speak on something different, then it's gonna seem like, oh, they ain't together.
Well, I mean, it's so hard because when you take a situation of it being in a household, and like I said, you got one person wanting to grow, one person okay where we're at. Let me give because let me use myself for example to show you some of the growth that I've come up. My daughter wants a puppy. She don't want no puppy. Now, 10 years ago, what would I have done? I was just went and bought that damn dog and you just gonna deal with it. That's what it would have been.
Right.
But now, you know, I discussed it with her. Hey, you know, you don't need one. And I'm trying to push for her. I really don't want it, but you know, because I know I'm gonna be the one stuck taking care of it. But at the same time, you know, and then of course I gotta get. She know how to play you, you know, this and that and stuff. Probably back in the day would maybe be spiteful and go out and get it just because you said that.
But King, do you embrace the change and the growth that's happened in your life, or do you?
No, I do.
Is it happening just circumstance and it's just like being forced upon you, like,
No.
damn, I guess I gotta change? So because that's a level where we gotta get to. We're gonna change whether we want to or not.
But
life is gonna change you. It's just your attitude as far as embracing that change, and that's how you take it to a whole nother level. But go ahead.
But the thing is, like we ain't gotta go into detail, but like before the show, like for our viewers, like us three, we like brothers for real. But that's just like when, you know, the King was talking about earlier before we got on the show, the things that he was doing and changing. And you know, we was probably making jokes about it, like, man, we proud of you, but sometimes you need to hear that.
Yeah.
Because we already know how he is.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You know how I am, and I know
right.
how you are. But sometimes in growth and in life, you gotta try to put the bigger foot forward to say, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. Who would ever thought that I was gonna go back to school?
True.
I talked to you 2 years ago, and I was at Quick Trip, and you was like, Brown,
Yeah.
you holding yourself back because you should have been a coach, a head coach somewhere.
Yeah.
And then my wife talking about, babe, you need to go back to school. And I'm like, why are you going to tell me to go back to school? Who you telling me to go back to school? But guess what? I follow suit.
But see, what we're doing is what we need to do collectively as a race. We support one another.
But
You
I
know,
don't think that'll ever happen, in my opinion.
But again, we got to.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
We just got to keep planting the seed. I guarantee. Because what we're doing, somebody else is going to be affected by the same thing that we're doing, and then they're going to affect somebody else. It's a slow process.
And I understand what he's saying by planting the seed. Just like you said back in the '60s, when that seed was planted, them guys didn't live to see what they were fighting for.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it is come to pass, and we still in some situations where we haven't made that much progress. But when you get people like that who sacrifice, they're not sacrificing for us to be fine. I was watching on Netflix, they got on the Who Killed Malcolm X. They did a documentary.
I saw that.
I watched it. Me and my dog watched the whole thing yesterday. And you know, of course I get that I'm trying to raise her to be a militant, and that's what I'm not doing at all. But you know, we watched the whole thing, and what that brother sacrificed was he died they say when he died, he didn't have no house. You know, the house was burned down, which it belonged to the Nation of Islam. They say he died with less than $150 and no insurance policy because they knew they were gonna kill him, so nobody would insure him.
Yeah.
But he still kept pushing and fighting. And here we are.
I see where you're going. Yeah.
We still divided. When you look at it, probably more than ever. I mean, when you look at our culture, it is not only we have division in our own culture with skin color.
Yeah.
We have the gender. We have older people against younger people. That ain't how we did it back in our day. All old head. I ain't trying to hear that time. So it's just so much.
It's a fact that the generation before the baby boomers, that generation with the 50s and 60s, oh man, they were much more together than we are. And they had less to work with. They dealt with real racism. I'm talking about physical.
Yeah.
And we dealing with it too.
Water
It's not,
hoses,
yeah,
dogs.
but it was
we
really
dealing with
bad.
it ain't hidden now.
Well,
Right.
Back then they hid.
No, they didn't.
that was beating you with
Lynchings. It was lynchings, man.
Even though you knew you couldn't go through Alabama or Mississippi, you knew them was racist states, but they wasn't out in broad daylight saying, I'm going to kill you.
Oh,
they waited till the sun go down.
I disagree with that, but the point
I think he's talking about after the time after what you're speaking.
But the point I'm making is that regardless on, we can debate who's got it worse. They were more together as a people than we are today.
And
Something happened between the 60s and 70s to where we took an alternate route. And now we're trying to fight our way back.
They threw us a bomb.
But the thing is,
They
though,
threw us a bomb. Hold on, before you go further, somebody got a question for
they
you.
not hiding it though.
Somebody got a question for you. They want to know, why do you keep saying it'll never happen?
Because I don't think the reason why I'm saying it'll never happen. If you look at the generations from when we start trying to go with equal rights and stuff like that, we are still fighting the same battle. So my thing is, if it does happen, we won't see it. And the same thing with Martin Luther King. He tried to fight for change, but he never saw it. So, I mean, we still in the same situation that we in.
But there have been some changes for
it have been some change, but have it been for the better good?
It's been some
we
progress.
okay?
It's in very small steps.
All right, okay. Now you saying
We're like, we want it right now, and that ain't happening. But it has.
But we saying very small steps. But your president Donald Trump, that's in office, this dude's saying whatever the fuck he want to say.
Yeah.
Doing whatever he want to do. He knew he wasn't gonna get impeached. He knew they weren't gonna throw him out of office, and he said that I ain't gonna get impeached. They ain't gonna sentence me. She can throw everything out there she want to do, but it ain't gonna happen.
Which further drives my point.
Your president.
Right, but that's why we can't worry about that up there. Because there's nothing we can do about that but go vote in November. That's their problem. They ain't gonna have to fix that how they do. But we can control us.
How?
Starts with each individual. Each individual.
I don't think it'll happen though, Ledge. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I mean,
I don't think it's gonna happen.
We got to have hope. Okay, and that's,
I'm not gonna live off of hope.
I'm
gonna live off of reality.
Let me say this. I don't think that if you go back to 1850 or whatever with the slaves or whatever it was, I'm sure they had that same mindset that they didn't think that we would ever be free. So I mean, it's like I say, it's not going to happen overnight. But we have to start
somewhere,
individually and collectively in our pool and branch out. But we can't because listen.
We're doing it right now.
You take a string and you let it run down here. Straight path. That stream is going to clear out everything in this way. But once it starts branching off, it weakens. It's going to weaken. So with all these branching off here, branching off there, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do my way, I'm going to do this my way, I'm going to do this my way, it's going to weaken. So it's not going to be as powerful as being together. And that's just kind of like what it is, man. We all over the place. We don't have a common cause. We don't have a common cause. And I sit and, I look, and everyone wants to sit back and say, we need this. We need somebody to step up. We need somebody to do this. We need somebody to be this leader. Or my favorite, I'm going to sit back and let God
take the wheel.
Boy.
Which, I don't think that's how it was intended. We take things and we interpret it the way that we want. It's just like, we take and you get these preachers, come on, sow a seed of $100 and receive your blessing. Blessings won't necessarily come financially. You blessed just to see another day.
Right.
So, we take stuff and we twist it to what we want it to be. We twist it to our reality of what we want it to be, and that's not always the case.
I agree.
So, we have to sit, and I agree with the legend 100%. It starts, everything starts individually, because like you said, what we talked about earlier, you can only change you. That's it. I can sit here and just with this three of us right here. Legend and I can agree 100%. And we can put down everything that we need to show you, well, hey, this, and that. And it's still up to you. Because if you don't agree and you just don't agree.
Okay, but my question is, let's say us three up here, we can agree on the same thing. And our title of the show is a perfect example. It takes a nation of millions to hold us back. But three can agree and say, hey, we're going to do this and do this. But how are we going to get them other millions to say, you know what, let's quit tripping, man. Let's come together. And I don't think it's...
You can't focus, because if you focus on everybody else...
But you got to focus on everybody else.
No, you don't.
Because you got to hope they change too, Legend. You got to hope that they change and buy into what you're saying.
What we're doing right now, we are planting seeds in at least, 400, 500, 600 people right now. What we're doing right now. So we are doing things, okay? But you can't worry about the millions, because if you worry about, well, how are we going to get all these other people?
You got to worry about them.
No. What I'm saying is, if you worry about that, then you're not, the process is going to take time. You want an immediate result when you say, well, we got to get everybody. It's not going to happen, but step by step, we'll get there. We're not going to get there. We're not going to see it in our lifetime.
Okay. With that being said, and this was, I still don't even feel that we really finished.
Bro, we skimmed the surface of this, man.
So let's I guess let's give some shout outs to the people that we need to thank, and then we'll come back and wrap up.
Close it up.
Wrap up the show.
I mean,
It's on you,
well,
man.
first off, I want to give a big shout out. On February the 5th, it was National Signing Day. We had a couple of people that all of us kind of know. But Mike Welch out of Dickinson High School, Deonze Yoakum out of Dickinson High School, Darion Henry out of Galveston Ball High School, and Moses Alexander. They all signed a national letter of intent. Congratulations to y'all. It's going to be some more kids that's going to end up signing, and want to give a big shout out to them. Want to give a shout out to Tamika. She helped me and my wife with our little cable and stuff like that. But to our sponsors and our supporters, Artifact Films, want to give a big shout out to them. Bench Bully and Busy Bee, Diverse Realty, I always mix that up. Elevate 7 Salon, Era Vintage Clothing, Fortray Photography, Ground Zero blog site, Hemp Works. It's not weed, but
we ain't doing that no more.
oh, we're not doing that no more.
No, we're not.
So we're gonna do no more. We're gonna scratch y'all, so we ain't gonna give y'all no credit on our shows anymore. We're gonna give Kitty Campus Daycare, LC, and the 37th Street Band. Legend is a part of that band. He tried to play instruments, but I don't think he really.
I don't try. I do.
You do?
I do.
And Maduro
very well.
And Maduro Cigar Lounge, Pack Tech, Picture Perfect Photography, T Napoli Health and Nutritional Shelf, Tours Player Association, which we all are part of because we ball our alumni, and Sea Grant Enterprise.
Did we
Oh, and what about our guy with the chicken place?
Pat's Wild Wings.
Pat's Wild
But don't forget yeah.
Oh,
yeah, we definitely can't forget.
I apologize. Don't charge that to my heart. Charge it to my head. We can't forget about Jaquays. That's one of our spots we do our podcast is at as well.
Man, and go by. It's some pretty good food there. But saying that, man, let's wrap this thing up. Give me some.
My closing thoughts is that as a nation, we need to come together. I know I probably was the one that's more negative on everything. I don't think it's going to happen because the each one teach one movement, people ain't using that anymore. I mean, we was using that when we was kids. Our parents put us through it. But until we get that together, which I don't think we'll see in our lifetime, it's going to be the same thing throughout the years.
I think individually, you take responsibility for your actions, whether you're in a relationship or, any relationship, and be accountable. Stop worrying about changing somebody else. You make the change in yourself. That don't mean you have to be stuck and stay in a situation that's not growing. Everybody needs to be able to make changes. You got to want to grow. You got to want to evolve. Men and women, we can't stay stagnant. And this is just all individual work. And I feel like if each person works individually on their own specific issues, you got to acknowledge that you have a problem. Because if you don't acknowledge it and you keep making excuses and keep saying, well, he made me do this and she made me do this, and because you was talking to me, that's why I responded. No, you can't do that. Take responsibility for what you've done and what you say. And I feel like that's a groundwork, that's a framework on how we can start changing and affecting our entire race. But it has to start at home, in your relationships, and individually.
I think we have to erase and do away with that line of divide, not only within our culture, our society, but just the human race, period. But again, like you say, you have to start with yourself, and it's small steps to be taken, and we have to stop letting things divide us and attacking one another and trying to put each other down for personal gain, whether it be for ratings or anything else. Because see, what you got to understand is, first rule that you learn is self-preservation. Mm-hmm. The first thing you learn. So when somebody attacks you, you defend yourself. Mm-hmm. And so which henceforth is why I never agreed with that, when they were sitting there getting beaten, and I'm going rejoice and getting my no. But anyway, so with that being said, people, we have to do better as a human race. It's just not we can't be just divided by the color of our skin.
And before we go off air, for all our followers, man, we really appreciate y'all tuning into our show. We try to get at all y'all comments when y'all post on our Facebook page. On birthdays, we try to, congratulate you on your birthdays and stuff like that. But continue to follow our show. Continue to tell others about our show. We can't grow unless you all grow with us. So when we go live, we hope you go live and go live with your family and your friends and stuff like that. We still need to get our YouTube page up. If you go to our YouTube page, please subscribe to our page, click the thumbs up, and eventually we'll be being able to go live on YouTube.
Also, before we go, we have some new things that'll be coming to you. Actually, each one of these gentlemen will have their own show. We're going to start off exclusively on the Stationhead App. So if you don't have that, you want to get it. When are we going?
I have the dates. I think mine is on the 16th.
And then I'm doing mine
on the 27th.
like a week after Eid.
Yeah, but yeah.
Okay.
16th.
Okay, but anyway, we'll be promoting that coming up. You'll be seeing some things pop up about it on Facebook. I think each one of them are unique individuals, and a lot of times when we're all together, it's kind of a little hard to see that. And so I brought it to them. We discussed it, and they agreed with it. And so each one of them will have their own individual show. I'll be a part of it in a little bit, but that'll be that thing. Also, we have some other things in the works, possibly another show. We won't get into that until we know 100% on what's going on with it. So just bear with us and stay tuned.
Black Expo talent show.
Oh yeah, you wanna?
Yeah, well, one of the projects that we're working on, y'all, is we're planning on having a Black Expo talent show, and this is where we're going to try to showcase a lot of the black businesses in the area. At the same time, we want to showcase the talent that's around, and it's just pretty much just promoting things that's going on in the area in Galveston County. And so we'll be getting that information to you soon. We're just trying to finalize all the details and all the legwork that it takes to get this done. So that's it.
All right, man. So with that being said, that's the show. God bless. Good night.
We all agreed tonight, all of the speakers have agreed that America has a very serious problem. Not only does America have a very serious problem, but our